Now the blow dry service in itself is actually pretty simple. Again, they're looking for infection control, safety to the client as well. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at dampening the hair on top and one side of the head. So to make my life a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the left arch of the eyebrow to give me a little bit of room on top to curl it when I move into the curling portion of the section. Now at the apex to the mastoid process is where I'm going to be sectioning the hair off here. So that leaves me with just this one panel of hair. Now everything else here I do not have to touch, so I'm just going to utilize the clip that I'm holding to clip it out of the way. Now you won't be using these duckbill clips at State Board. They'll give you nice butterfly clips, so it'll be a lot easier for you to secure that hair out of the way. And you can see over on the side where I have that hair sectioned out, I have a nice big panel of hair. Now because I am going to be blow drying, I want to grab my water bottle and my brush, and I want to make sure that as I am spraying this down that I brush it. If I just spray over the top, I'm only wetting the top of the hair, and that's potentially going to lead to runoff of water where I can have a mess on the floor, and which point I would have to stop my service and clean up the mess. Now the hair that you are wetting down doesn't have to necessarily be dripping wet, but it should look damp from afar. It should look to the point where from across the room the examiner can see that you have visibly wet the hair. Now if you wet the hair too much, it's going to take you that much longer to blow dry the hair, and you'll have less time to do the other appointments that you have to do. So just dampening down a little bit more. So you can see that I've dampened down the hair, and it appears a lot darker than the other side. That is a good visual distinguishing factor between dry hair and wet hair. If I wanted to wet down the hair a little bit more, I'm more than welcome to do so, but again, I prefer to make my life a little bit easier. Now when it comes to the blow drying portion, you want to make sure that the brush never touches the blow dryer. That is called cross-contamination. What you want to actually see is that the two are visibly separated the entire time. More importantly, you don't want to ever take that blow dryer and blow air into the client's face, because that could be uncomfortable or you could potentially burn them. So what my recommendation to you would be is for you to blow dry all of that hair away from the face. That way you have a little bit more control over it. If you are a little bit more of an avid blow dryer, going towards the face will be alright, but just make sure that you understand where you're pushing that air. Again, they're not looking for a specific technique or a specific blow dry, they just want to see you visibly dry the hair in a controlled, safe manner. You can see I'm always going away from the face, and the brush and the blow dryer are never touching. You can also see that when I am utilizing my blow dryer, I do not point it in towards the scalp, and it is always off the scalp and just on the hair. I'm also being very cautious about where I place that blow dryer, because I don't want that blow dryer to touch the hair either. And again, just making sure that I'm blow drying that hair away from the face and making sure that I'm not burning my client. here, if we were to look at the coloration, we can see that it's both very similar, and I've dried the side adequately enough. If you run your fingers through and you feel like there's a little bit more dampness, there's no problem with turning your blow dryer back on and running back through it.